vola anguela o veteronugu, ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti ni nambandu na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nandraking ko sa Bula FM nga, nakasi.
Nalang go sa mundo achiwe ng Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry, yang melambasa. Do barongo nga na Bula FM, nambandu.
Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
In the news tonight, Fiji Airways hits out at Qantas. Prime Minister to hold bilateral meetings in Canberra. And over 6,000 expressions of interest for housing made.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
Fiji Airways has tonight hit out at Qantas for its sudden flip from ally to adversary, saying it has been very damaging for the national carrier. Qantas is a major shareholder and long-standing commercial partner of Fiji Airways, but its announcement in January that it would be commencing its own services to Fiji has now made it a major competitor. The national carrier, while responding to queries by FBC News, says they've met with Qantas on a number of occasions to voice their concerns. However, it has fallen on deaf ears. Catherine Krishna reports.
Fiji Airways finds Qantas' move odd for a number of reasons. In an email response, it says, quote, firstly, they have entered the market at a time when Australian Vista arrivals to Fiji are flat. Secondly, the addition of the Qantas services has created overcapacity and diluted yields. Thirdly, through our code-share relationship, Qantas has earned healthy code-share commissions for little cost and risk. Fiji Airways Chief Executive Andre Villion says this brings into question the entire commercial rationale. Villion says, surprisingly, Qantas has recently indicated it will be increasing from 4 flights per week to a daily service between Sydney and Nadi later this year. He says Qantas is competing aggressively, actively directing passengers onto Qantas and Jetstar services. Villion says it is very difficult for a small Pacific Island national carrier to compete with the substantial market power and financial capability of Qantas, which frankly dwarfs the resources and capability of Fiji Airways. The chief executive says a number of meetings held with Qantas to voice concerns have fallen on deaf ears. Fiji Airways has also invested in new planes and its A350 aircraft will be arriving soon. Civil Aviation Minister Yasir Qayyum has stated that this will enable the national carrier to fly directly to new destinations.
We have the A350s coming in November and December of this year. We're very lucky to get the A350s in such a short turnaround time. We're looking at destinations beyond our traditional destinations, whether we can reach out to the eastern seaboard of North America, reach out further westwards towards destinations like India, which is going to be the largest outbound market in a few years' time, where it'll be China.
Fiji Airways is a vital contributor to the Fijian economy, as well as the regional economies of neighboring Southwest Pacific states, whose economies, like Fiji, are highly dependent upon tourism and trade. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Prime Minister Varanger Bainimarama has arrived in Canberra to continue his first ever official state visit. The Canberra visit will be a vital one for Bainimarama, as he will conduct bilateral meetings with the Australian government and one-on-one meetings with his counterpart Scott Morrison. Alekimbia files this report from Canberra.
Taking off to Canberra after 3 days in Sydney, Prime Minister Varanger Bainimarama hasn't revealed much about his meeting with Scott Morrison.
Well, I realize there's a good deal of attention centered around my upcoming meeting with the Prime Minister. As I said in the Itoke language, I thought I'd be saving my comments until after I've had the chance to sit down with the Prime Minister personally.
With a lot at stake while arriving in Canberra, Bainimarama says he is looking forward to the signing of the Vuvale partnership with Morrison.
Our Vuvale relationship, I know will continue. But I have a couple of days with the Prime Minister Morrison in the next meeting up with him in the next couple of days.
Arriving in Canberra today, Prime Minister Vorengi Bainimarama met with Fiji's High Commissioner to Australia at his residence here in Canberra, discussing on bilateral meetings that will have to be undertaken tomorrow. Reporting from here in Canberra, Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Housing Authority will be engaging other agencies to help them constantly update and review the information of its customers. Currently, the authority has around 6,000 expressions of interest for housing and land, but it believes some of the information provided by interested buyers could be outdated. Koroi Tandalala reports.
A lot of processes are involved when approving applications for housing or land by the Housing Authority.
Just because you come and talk to housing and fill a form, it doesn't mean to say that you're going to get a land. You expressed an interest. Because there's so many people that want a land, and the supply is just not there, just inundated.
With the appointment of a new chief executive, the authority will now work with relevant stakeholders to streamline its processes so that applications can be processed faster. One key criteria to qualify for low-cost affordable housing is that your combined annual household income must be less than $50,000.
So if I applied like last year and I get a promotion today and my salary goes over 50,000 and you don't tell me, your name will be still on the waiting list. So the list is biased already.
We'll be talking to Fiji Revenue and Customs Services in terms of getting some data from there to reduce the getting the lots or houses completed. Other utilities like water authority, roads, because they have their annual budgets, annual work program. They need to fit in our requirement in there too.
The Housing Authority's continuous challenge is getting response from interested buyers, and the new digitization program is expected to solve this issue. The authority's target is to develop 1,000 lots per year to meet the demand of housing. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Lack of parking space when hosting huge events at the ANZ Stadium could soon be an issue of the past. This as the Fiji Roads Authority will construct more parking lots along the Queen Elizabeth Drive near the stadium. Apenisa Wangairanovo reports.
The motorists will no longer have to complain about parking space on this stretch of the Queen Elizabeth Drive once work on Phase 2 and 3 completes.
Stage 2 and Stage 3, so all the way from Vuya right down to Lugala Bay Road will have parking. And down by the stadium we're increasing the density of parking, obviously for match days and events down at the stadium, so there'll be more parking available than there is now.
Extra parking lots will be constructed along the seaside and the service lane will be converted to allow crossover for parking.
A very slow speed environment, very safe for parking and very safe for people to get in and out of their vehicles. So a lot of the areas have introduced service lane to make it safer for people.
The FRA has also confirmed that a runabout will be constructed at the Ratu Sukuna Road and Laudala Bay Road intersection to ease traffic congestion. Apenisa Wangardobu, FBC News.
Chinese scholarships for Fijians are expected to double in 2020 as part of our strengthened bilateral relationship with China. China's ambassador to Fiji, Guan Bo, says up to 100 scholarships will soon be available annually. Maggie Boyle reports.
Along with increasing tourism and trade, expanding education is also a key area of focus.
We strongly believe, the future lies with the young people, and education will help people, young students who are unable to afford themselves, to study maybe either in Fiji or in rest of the countries.
Ambassador Bo says scholarships for Fijians will increase significantly.
Starting from next year, we will possibly double the number of scholarships for Fijian students, because this is what our president has committed during the last November meeting with the leaders of the Pacific.
According to Ambassador Bo, China will step up its assistance to 2,500 scholarships in the region over the next 5 years. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Up ahead, rock market continues to gain momentum. And retired Nandi man ventures into pottery making. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Women and children have been identified as the most vulnerable to climate change, and policies are now being drafted to change this. The Women's Ministry is working on a 5-year strategic development plan that will include women and children in decision-making processes. Koroi Tandalala reports.
The policy currently being drafted by the Women's Ministry will elevate the status of women in the country, and they will have a better say on issues related to climate change.
We're in the process of developing a 5-year strategic plan and implementation framework for the National Gender Policy 2020 to 2025. This provides transformative and gender-responsive approaches, of which one of our priority areas is improving protection from and resilience to disaster and climate change risks for women and girls.
A number of factors have been identified by the UN that make women and children the most vulnerable group to the impacts of climate change.
Existing inequalities, limited access to resources, restricted rights, and the lack of voices in decision-making increases women's vulnerability to effects of climate change.
2 young Fijian women will be leading the country with 3 other Pacific Island climate warriors at the UN Climate Change Summit that will be held in New York next week. The theme for this year's event is Climate Action Summit 2019, a race we can win, a race we must win. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Meeting new people and sharing success stories with each other is one main reason why many vendors choose the Rock Market to sell their products. People from all walks of life took advantage of the good weather and flocked to the Rock Market, an event that takes place every 3rd Sunday of every month. Apenisa Wangairanovo caught up with a few vendors.
Bridget Middenway specializes in handmade children's toys and has been a regular at the Rock Market for the past 10 years.
For me, the best thing is to meet people. There's a lot of people that I have seen in the past year that I haven't seen for like 5 years. And the Rock Market is a place where people get together to talk, to say hello, to make friends.
The Rock Market has been a great platform for women and men to showcase their unique talents and earn some money.
I love it. It's where I make some money. And there's a lot of little things you can pick up from here. Like, I'm here not as a vendor, as a buyer too.
The event is not only about selling products. Organizations like Pacific Dialogue use this platform to advocate on issues.
We have some brochures here to give out and posters, so we're quite happy if anyone asks us, we tell them about it.
A wide variety of homemade food and delicacies, handmade jewelry, toys, fashion garment and pot plants are some of the items on sale. Apenisa Wangardobu, FBC News.
The week-long Coral Coast Carnival is underway in Sigatoka. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Acting Prime Minister Ayaan Syed Qayyum said such platforms are important as it brings community together and unites Fijians. With the theme, Let's Harvest Wellness Spiritually, Physically and Mentally, the carnival aims to bring more attention to people's well-being.
It's also about the individual, your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your spiritual well-being. And hopefully with the theme this year being focused in that area, you'll have the contestants talking more about it and more people will actually get a lot more attention regarding that particular aspect of our daily lives.
Old age has not deterred Shastanand of Navo Nandi to focus on something that he loves doing the most. Nand, while surfing the internet, came across a pottery making video on YouTube and has since fallen in love with the art. In tonight's Successful Fijian, we take a look at the journey of the retired furniture maker who is passionate about his work even at the age of 70.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Even the design, I cannot make it.
It's a work of art, according to Shastanand, who says the kind of pottery he makes is unique from anywhere else in the world.
They are all different. And if you ask me, I want 100 piece like that, another 10 piece like that. it's very hard to do exactly same. No. This is one piece, not a second piece going to be like that. Like this pumpkin, if I have to do it, it's all manual.
After his retirement, Nan says he could not just sit at home and waste his time, so he took up this challenge. He takes at least 5 days to make one pot.
It's made out of cement, fine sand, and some chemicals that I'm going to tell, very hard, and undercoat and the paint. And to do the painting, it's all hand. It's no, I got my sprays there, but this one is a can spray. But to do that and to match that, we have to waste paint too. Sometimes say, oh, leave it. But I have, after doing that, I have make a mistake, and then after not even one. I don't put a markup, nothing. You have to be hand so steady. And for my age is, and how I start, and for my age is, people what they think, oh, I'm 70, I can't do this. I'm 70 plus, my friend. And I'm still working.
The family support towards Nand has also been tremendous, especially with his children who are now residing overseas. He says even though he has not decided to sell the pottery, he has received a number of offers from people.
Many people say, what the hell are you doing over here? Why not selling? I said, I don't want to sell. I'm making a museum. But it's not a museum, I'm going to sell it. But it starts from $2,000 to $25. From 2,500 to $25. And then in middle, we got $2,000, $1,500, $1,000, $800, $500, $300, $200, $100, $150.
According to Nand, this work keeps him active, which is important for someone at his age. His advice to retired Fijians is to continue working towards whatever they are passionate about.
Age is nothing, only our mind. What we tell to our mind, oh no, I can't know. I am 70 years old. So I am telling my mind, my brain. So brain says, I am giving him power. He said, I can't walk. I can't do, I am 70 plus. So what can I do? So brain will say, better sleep, be quiet. So be active. Let your brain to be active and go ahead.
Nand has created more than 200 pottery pieces in just a year. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Ahead in sports, rest day for Flying Fijians in Abashiri. And Baber to test new players at Oktoberfest 7th. There's some more coming up.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number one.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग कल मिर्ची FM सुनता. Gold Town Tava में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
It was a rest day for the Fiji Airways Flying Fijians team after an intense training week. With 5 days remaining for the much-awaited clash against the Wallabies, coach John McKee says the players remain focused. McKee adds the training environment in Abashiri is pristine and has motivated the boys. The team arrived at its base camp yesterday where they were hosted by the mayor of Abashiri.
Yeah, we're really excited here. We're getting near game one, and you know all the hard work that we've put in over since July 1. We hope that it really pays off this week with our performance. But the players are in good shape. You know, we've had a couple of injuries who are now back in training, so we've just about got a full complement to choose from this week.
The Flying Fijians will take on the Wallabies next Saturday at 4:45 p.m. at the Sapporo Dome in Japan. Oktoberfest Sevens will be an opportune time for the new players to get the much-needed exposure. The tournament will be held in Germany next week, and coach Gareth Baber says he is looking forward to the challenge from other teams. Savewanga with the details.
Fiji Airways national sevens team will head for Germany tomorrow with clear instructions already laid out by the coach.
We want teams to come up and really challenge us in that as well. So we will look at it from a team perspective, but also look at it for individuals to go and play for their clubs in that as well, and having close connections with the club coaches is hugely important to me.
The national team finished as runners-up last year after a 40-7 hammering from Australia. Coach Gareth Baber has been keeping a close watch on the fitness of players. He adds the new boys are showing great work ethic during training sessions. Playmaker Teriota Mani is looking forward to the performance of new players during the tournament. Fiji is in Group B with Germany, France and USA. Its first pool match is against the USA. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
The 24-all draw against New South Wales Country Eagles was a disappointing result as Fiji Airways Drua coach Senirusi Servakula. The Drua side had left with high hopes to register its first win in round 3 of the National Rugby Championship, but this did not eventuate. The draw has seen New South Wales Country Eagles move on top of the table with 10 points. Saviwanga once again.
A lot of work needs to be done for these players following the 24-all draw result last night.
It was disappointing, but it's better than a loss. But we need to play smarter rugby, and the players are still learning. As you can see, there's a lot of new players in the team, but we're working on that. And from now on, we can't afford to lose anymore. And it's an important game next week in Lautoka against the Sydney Rays.
Despite that result, Coach Servakula is happy with the performance displayed by the under-20 players in the team. Servakula is confident the team will put on a much improved performance in its next match against the Sydney Rays.
These guys, they come from a pathway in our system, so we need to put them out there so that they gain a lot of confidence and exposure. I believe they're doing all right, especially with Ikanivere, but there's still a lot of room to learn how to play in this level.
The Drua currently sits at 7th place on the standings with 4 points. New South Wales Country Eagles lead the NRC standings with 10 points, followed by Western Force and Canberra Vikings on 9 points. Then Drua will meet the Sydney Rays next Saturday at 5 p.m. at Churchill Park in Lautoka. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
The Bath Provincial Freebird Institute celebrated its under-19 rugby team's Vodafone Deans competition victory last Friday. The team had defeated St. John's College in the final last month. The win, a historic one for the institute as it is their first ever Deans title win. Philippa Naikasa was part of the celebration.
It was a memorable day for students, teachers, parents and all scholars of Bath Provincial Freebird Institute as they celebrated their under-19 rugby team's historic win.
They're motivating, that they have that passion for the school during bad times and good times. So whatever this milestone has achieved, it's really bring us back together, all scholar parents, even the teachers, and also the supporters and the friends of the school.
The Saru-based school's team captain says all the players had only one mission going into the competition.
It's a dream come true, especially for a young age like this, get a feel of the championship. It's very blissful and humbled, and I'm grateful. We're grateful that we're able to win the Deans under-19.
It's a milestone. I don't know about the crowd. Maybe this is the first time that you have come in like this. I mean the attendance, looking at the parents and the old scholars.
Bath Provincial had thrashed St. John's College 35 points to 12 in the final of the Deans under-19 last month. Philippa Naikaso, FBC Sports.
The Canberra Raiders shocked Suliasi Vunivalu and the Melbourne Storm by defeating them last night. The Storm lost 12-10 despite Vunivalu scoring a try in the 43rd minute. Raiders led 6-2 lead at half-time. In other matches, the Rooster defeated the Rabbitohs 30-6, while the Sea Eagles beat the Sharks 28-16. The Eels are currently playing the Broncos, and you can watch it live on FBC Sports. The defending champions of the English Premier League, Manchester City, lost 3-2 to Norwich in round 5 of the match this morning. Sergio Aguero's and Rodri's goals could not help Man City win as Norwich came out firing. Norwich goals came from Kenny McLean, Todd Cantwell and Timu Puki. And in other matches, Manchester United defeated Leicester 1-0, Brighton beat Burnley 1-0, Sheffield United lost 1-0 to Southampton, and Tottenham thrashed Crystal Palace 4-0, while Chelsea defeated the Wolves 5-2. Occasional showers were experienced over the eastern parts of Viti Levu, while afternoon or evening showers developed over other places today. And looking at the west, it was cloudy with very humid conditions, though heavy showers experienced late this afternoon. And eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, it was a mixture of sun and clouds during the day, but heavy rain taking over after lunch. And up north, it was mostly cloudy and scattered showers were experienced in some areas. Now at sea, moderate northeast to southeast winds, fresh at times. Winds will become predominantly southeast from tomorrow, but moderate to rough seas are forecast. For the tides, high tide can be expected at 7:34 p.m. with low tide at 1:39 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be at 6:03 a.m. As for tomorrow, showers are expected to gradually ease and clear over most places. And as we look further on to Tuesday, it should be fine, apart from brief showers of the eastern and interior parts of the latter islands. Recapping the main stories, Fiji Airways heads out at Qantas. Prime Minister to hold bilateral meetings in Canberra. And over 6,000 expressions of interest for housing made. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. On to our poll question segment. This week, we're asking, should there be harsher penalties imposed on bogus real estate agents? You can visit our FBC website to answer. Well, you can always send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
Navango Maria, Maramani Waya Manatu Sawa, waiting to Nandi, Yaundo Marataka, Navarro, and Radio Fiji One.
Yawa Asna Vatili, Yawa Maga Monica. Tondo Barro Vale, Bonardoma Viti Lambasa.
Bula, Nadango Aprosan Garce, Gor Kraki, the Television Navarro and Radio Fiji One, Nandomi Vit. Nadango Chanibukia, Omoni Namosi, and the Talita Navarro and Radio Fiji One, Nandomi Vitisu.
Radio Fiji One, Nandomi.